Welcome to Hearthstone Top 10. My name is Benjamin Hero, and today we're gonna be discussing the 10 most disappointing cards so far to be released in Hearthstone. This is the first video that's gonna be released in this channel, and I thought, hey, what better way to begin a channel than to talk about disappointment? But let me first say this, like, what do I mean by disappointing card? I'm talking about these cards that have received so much hype. I'm talking about hype on Reddit, hype on Hearthstone, hype on the Hearthstone Blizzard main forums. I'm talking about those cards, when they came out, they were just purely disappointing. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Benjamin, number one's obviously gonna be Troggzor the Earthinator. But you might be surprised, our friend Troggzor is not actually number one. But let's be honest, you know, he's definitely gonna be in the top 3. Let's be honest here. But he's not number 1. Okay. This is purely my opinion of what I think that have just been cards released that have been so disappointing, it hurt me. And once you get to number 1, you understand the pain I felt when that card got released. But without further ado, let's begin the first ever Hearthstone Top 10 video of the top 10 most disappointing cards in Hearthstone. At number 10, we have Explorer's Hat. I know you might be thinking Explorer's Hat was never actually a good card in the first place. How can a bad card disappoint you, Benjamin? Well, let me explain. When I saw this card being released in the sneak previews of the League of Explorers, I thought this card was trash. It's terrible. I mean, think about it. 2 mana to give a minion +1/+1, and you're a hunter? Who the hell would be so loco to do this? But then I saw a video by a guy called Fraser TV, and he convinced me. He told me that Explorer's Hat is going to be the new Hunter's Hero power. I thought, man, God, that's so right. I mean, 2 mana +1/+1, and death after you get back in your hand. This card is borderline broken. I mean, this is gonna make a new hunter. Like, Control Hunter is finally here. TM not anymore. Control Hunter has arrived. You know, I was seeing pictures on Reddit about Hat Hunter. I saw a post about some guy, I forgot who this guy was, I apologize, saying but Hat Hunter is gonna be the new meta, but Hat Hunter is gonna be the new Secret Paladin. Because when Mysterious Challenger came out, that card took the Hearthstone world by storm. Hat Hunter is gonna be the new deck to beat. And then Explorer's Hat came out. And then people started playing it, and then they realized, you know what, this card is actually garbage. It is actually garbage. It was so good in theory, but you are a hunter. You are a hunter. You are a hunter. You can't control the board. You smoke the face. The only thing you control is the face. You control like how you're gonna point your mouse towards the face. Yeah, so in the end, Explorer's Hat it just didn't perform. It just didn't perform. That's why it's number 10. Explorer's Hat. Maybe one day you're gonna... No, let's be honest. Control Hunter will never exist. It's just never gonna happen. Let's move on. Next. At number 9, we have Healing Wave. 3 mana, you either get 7 health back, or Joust, you get 14 health. Let me explain the history of why I thought this card was gonna be just incredible, and why this card received so much hype. Well, back in the day, Shaman were always complaining. They were like, Blizzard, we need more healing. Blizzard, we need more healing. Ben Rhodes, give us some healing. Then in GVG, what did Shaman get? They got the Vitality Totem, which was terrible. And Shamans kept on complaining. They were like, we need more healing. Then Blizzard said, you know what, Shaman? We're gonna give you 3 mana. 3 freaking mana. Heal for 14 if you win a Joust. That's like, wait a minute. Mid-range Shaman. Whoa, Maligo Shaman. Wait a minute. Late game Control Shaman. This card is going to be used by all 3 decks. I thought this card was busted. Anti-Killbot, 5 mana. You only heal for 8. This card will heal you for 14. That is just like, wow. I honestly thought, people, please believe me, I thought Healing Wave will make a splash. I mean, it's cheap. But then when the card actually came out, when people placed it in their decks, they realized, I actually don't win Joust this often. This is basically 3 mana, heal for 7, and I don't get a body. This card's unreliable. In the end, the thing that brought Healing Wave down, the reason why it's number 9, it is because it's just such an unreliable method of healing. An anti-heal board is just better. This is what it turned out to be. Healing Wave just didn't heal the wave enough. Okay, I'm stopping. Let's move on. Next, number 8. Where's number 8? I'm sorry. Come forth, coward! I love Bolvar Fordragon. He has got one of the best, no, he's got the best opening playing animations in Hearthstone. I mean, when you play, you see the line, you hear the music, you hear him tell you, the other player, come forth, coward! I mean, wow! Come forth, coward! Wow, that card was meant to be amazing. Think about it, like 5 mana, 1/7. Okay, that's terrible. That's terrible. But the Paladin's hero power summons 1/1 on a regular basis. This card could be 13/7. It could be a 10/7 for 5 mana. That's ridiculous. Yes, it gets BGH, but who cares? Everything is BGH. You know, maybe not everything, but most things that are fun get BGH. So I thought this card, when it comes out, it is going to destroy the game. Oh my goodness. And then Bolvar came up. People actually played Bolvar in the beginning because they thought, just like me, they will be a good card. And then we played it, and then we realized that another card exists called Iron Beak Owl. 2 mana, 2/1, silence any card you choose. And hey, when you silence Bolvar, it is just a 1/7 for 5 mana. That's a joke. That's why Bolvar, you're just terrible. You just are such a big letdown. From even Blizzard themselves thought Bolvar would be so good. They gave it such a wonderful animation. Have you noticed legendaries after the GVG set, after Bolvar, have been so terrible in the opening animations? Why? Because Blizzard was even disappointed themselves with how bad and how disappointing Bolvar was. I guess the sad thing is the legacy of disappointment that this card left to the game. But at least we still have the most amazing opening line in the game. Come forth, cowards! Behold the armies of Stormwind! Varian Wrynn, 10 mana, draw 3 cards and place any minions onto the battlefield. Tell me, honestly, tell me when you first saw this card that you did not think that it was broken beyond belief. I mean, let's say you draw 3 cards, and if the minute you put them on the battlefield, that card is just broken. I mean, and it's a 7/7. This card was on everybody. All the top streamers rated this card pretty much as number 1, as the most hype when TGT got released. It was the most hyped card so far. On Reddit, Varian Wrynn was one of the most hyped cards in the post. Varian Wrynn was meant to be the next broken card. It was meant to be the next Dr. Boom! No, Dr. Boom is not on this list. Wouldn't that be funny? Varian Wrynn was meant to be just incredible. 10 mana, 7/7, draw 3 cards. You could put Viscera, even, hey, if you get Alexstrasza, that would still be a good draw, an 8/8 for free. Wow! And then, you know, as people started putting him into your deck, it just came to all the realizations. Hang on! This is Warrior! This is Warrior! And Warrior likes to be fatigued pretty much. They don't like to draw too many cards unless you're a Grim Patron Warrior. And if you're playing Grim Patron, why the hell would you play Varian Wrynn? So then you must put him in your Control Warrior. And if you're Control Warrior, you don't want to lose some of the nice battle cries, such as Lofeb, such as Alexstrasza. Then it came to the point where if you play Varian Wrynn in your Control Warrior, you would fatigue yourself faster than the other player. And it just realized that somehow, someway, a card that lets you draw 3 cards and put them onto the battlefield on a 7/7 body is just not good enough. if you're a warrior, if it wasn't any other decks, let's just say in a rogue deck, hell, even a paladin deck, this card would be super busted. But because warriors just sit there building armor, Varian Wrynn. Everybody thought you'd be good, but you turned out to be disappointing. But to be fair, some people do still play a Varian Wrynn, but it is nowhere near as good as we all expected. That is why it is number 7 as one of the most disappointing cards. I'm sorry, Varian, just maybe next time your army shouldn't be too bad. At number 6, we have Mistcaller. This card is so bad, honestly, I don't even know what its opening line is when you play the card. I'll put my hands up. Mistcaller was meant to be great. On the Reddit polls, it was one of the highest rated cards when TCG was going to be released. People rated it as pretty just excitingly. To be fair, most streamers discounted the card, but it's all about what Reddit thinks, right? And I actually personally had really high expectations because Shamans have been getting pretty terrible cards so far. And TGT was meant to be their set. And for 6 mana, you get for a 4/4 minion that makes all your other minions much better by giving them +1/+1. I thought in a grinder shaman this card's gonna be amazing. I mean, yeah, sure, you pay 6 mana for a 4/4, that's terrible. But then the investment in the future, this card was gonna be incredible. Mistcaller was gonna be my guy. And then it came out, and then let me ask you a question. How many times have you seen this card being played? Exactly. My point exactly. At number 5, you have Iron Sensei, a 3 mana rogue card, which is 2 and 2 stats, and at the end of your turn, give a friendly minion +2/+2. I thought this card was gonna be busted. Think about this. You know what? You play a Neutron, then you play Iron Sensei. What you get? You get a 3/4 with Divine Shield, and the next turn you get another +2/+2 buff. Think. This card, I thought honestly Mech Rogue was going to be the deck to beat. I honestly thought that, because for 3 mana you get such a powerful effect. How can any deck just not use it? And then what happened when Iron Sensei came out? What we realized is that it is just too slow. Yes, somehow having a +2/+2 buff on a friendly mech for just 3 mana plus with a 2 and 2 body, it's just too slow. You could say Mech Mage took all the glory. In the end, Mech Rogue never really took off. It was a deck, but it was just let's face it, it was a bad deck. And Iron Sensei never lived up to the expectations and to the hype that this card could have been. And that is why Iron Sensei is number 5, because it's such a good card and it couldn't make a dent in the meta. Iron Sensei, I guess you should go back to school, Sensei. Yeah. Let's go to number 4. Number 4. At number 4 we have Aviana, a 9 mana druid card with 5 and 5 stats that allows you to play any minion in your hand for just 1 mana. Any minion in your hand for just 1 any minion in your hand for just 1 mana. You wanna play Alex Troggzor? Sure, 1 mana. You wanna play Ysera? Why not? Just 1 mana. When Aviana got released in the sneak peek, I was thinking, oh my god, do it. This is a crazy card. It's 9 mana. Okay, 5/5 are terrible stats, let's be honest. But you get any card in your hand discounted. At least a minion, any minion in your hand discounted to just 1 mana. I admit, this was like a fan favorite of mine. Most people thought this card was garbage, but I had high hopes for Lady Aviana. I mean, even the way it opens and comes into the field is such a wonderful opening. I thought Aviana's gonna make a whole new list of druids, a whole new archetype, or a whole new deck that druid has never thought of. Proper late game control druid is here. No more forcing, no more savage roar or force of nature combo, but a truly controlled deck built on Aviana and playing those incredibly high cost legendaries for just 1 mana. But Aviana, I have yet to see this card being played. This card is just, it pains me to say it, but it's just a bad card. In the end, when you actually play it out there, having 5 health is just such a big detriment. It will pretty much is guaranteed to die on the following turn. That's pretty much always. With either a minion on the board, a weapon and a minion, a spell. It's just 5 health for 9 mana is just not good enough. Even though the effect is so good. Aviana, I expected the world from you. Honestly, you know, I shouldn't have thought this card would be this good. I mean, look at it. It doesn't look that good, but it just hurts me personally. That's why number 4 is my princess, Aviana. Now we get into the exciting, to the top 3. And at number 3, we have a card which I believe every single Hearthstone player can relate to. Number 3, we have Hungry Dragon. People, let me try to explain to you the hype. I'm talking about the tremendous volcanic hype that surrounded Hungry Dragon when it was released as a sneak peek for the Black Rock Mountain adventure set. For 4 mana, you get a 5/6 dragon. For 4 mana, you get a 5/6 dragon. Before, the gold standard for a 4 mana card in stats was the Yeti, and that was a 4/5. But for this card, you get a 5/6. Hungry Dragon can eat a Yeti, then it can eat another Yeti before it dies. This card was gonna be so broken, and the only downside was your opponent gets a random 1-cost minion. Everybody, I don't care who you are, everybody thought this card would be OP. Streamers thought about it, no one players thought about it. If you're trying to tell me that when you first saw Hungry Dragon, you did not think that it was the most broken card so far to be released in Hearthstone, you're lying to me, you're lying to yourself, and you're lying to probably somebody you care about as well. Just stop it, just stop the lies. Hungry Dragon was going to take over the meta. 4 mana for 5/6, son of 1-cost minion. Easy. Rogue can destroy the 1-cost minion with 1-cost health. Mage can do it. Druid can do it. Hell, Paladin can do it in some way with summoning 1/1s. Like, who can't clear a 1-cost minion? And then when Hungry Dragon finally got released in the Black Rock Mountain adventure set and people started playing it, we all realized we all made one big fatal mistake. That 1-cost minion can be so detrimental to you. It can summon a zombie child. It can summon a Worgen infiltrator. It can summon a no-shot cleric, which can get away because of annoying 3 health. It can summon a shield bearer that can stop it from getting lethal. Just so many annoying minions are actually at 1 cost. It can summon an Argent Squire. Hungry Dragon, when you actually play the card, you realize it is so bad. It's such a letdown. It is not a Yeti killer. It is just a bad card because that 1-cost minion is so much. And now Hungry Dragon summoned a pit snake that can destroy it for free. Hungry Dragon had so much promise, so much hype, but it is such a disappointment when it actually came out and people actually started playing it. Man, Hungry Dragon, you're meant to make decks good. You're meant to be a whole amazing card. But in the end, it wasn't. And that's why you are number 3. You've been waiting for this. And I know you've been waiting for this. You've been thinking, Ben, when the hell am I gonna see Troggzor the Earthinator? Yes, our good friend Troggzor the Earthinator is not actually the most disappointing card. No, Troggzor is a disappointment. We all know it. Troggzor the Earthinator. If you're not familiar with why this card is regarded as one of Hearthstone's most disappointing, tragic cards ever, let me explain why. Well, when Goblins vs Gnomes got released, everybody was excited about seeing new cards and seeing the new possibility of Hearthstone. Finally, we're gonna get more new cards. We've had Naxxramas, and now we're gonna have a true, fully fledged, bona fide expansion. And then we saw Troggzor. 7 mana, 6/6. If opponent plays any spell, you get to summon a Burly Rockjaw Trog. And that is a 3 mana, and that is a 3/5 for free. Oh my, that's silly. Any spell the opponent plays while Troggzor the Earthinator is on the field, you get a 3/5 minion for free. Everybody thought that this card is going to be an auto-include in every single deck. Troggzor the Earthinator came with so much hype. Go to look at any of the Goblins vs Gnomes card expansion reviews of the streamers.
In the case that you play Troggzor the Earthinator and the opponent does not have enough to deal 6 damage on the board, then you are going to get a 3/5, which means you're getting 7 mana for 9/11 worth of stats, and that's pretty awesome.
7 for a 6/6, just pretty poor stats, but whenever your opponent casts a spell, summon a Burly Rockjaw Trog, which you guys can tell is another anti-spell card. If you get one of those things off, this card is really, really sick. If you get more than one, this card just gets completely out of control.
This is just crazy, let me tell you, okay? I like this, I love this card. Love it! Nah, it's a good card.
Wow, what a good card. Like, what is going on? This card is like way over budgeted.
Yeah, this card's insane.
Is this a card you just like jam into your decks?
They'll put this card, oh yes, Troggzor, #1, auto-include in deck. Troggzor is gonna be the best card ever. Dr. Boom? Doctor Who? Troggzor is the only legendary card that's gonna truly break the game in Goblins vs Gnomes. Wow. I mean, just look at it on paper. 7 mana, 6/6, you get 3/5 when your opponent plays any spell. It should be good. On paper, Troggzor should be good. But then, when GVG finally got released and people started playing Troggzor, they realized, yo, where are my Burly Rockjaw Trogs? People realized that, you know what, you can clear a 6/6 pretty freaking easy without using any spells. And people have tried making the card work, trust me. People wanted Troggzor to be good. People wanted Troggzor to be the new legendary card, but it just couldn't perform. It was like the husband, you know, like with his wife, and his wife had these high expectations, and the husband just could not perform. Man, yeah. In the end, Troggzor the Earthinator was just not a card that it was meant to be, and it actually pains me how bad this card actually turned out to be. For #2, we have Troggzor the Earthinator. I bet you're wondering, Ben, what the hell could be #1 then? If Troggzor's second, well, ladies and gentlemen, there's one card that is even more disappointing than Troggzor. And I'll tell it to you right after this commercial break. I'm kidding, it's coming up right next. #1, let's go, #1. It is time to unveil #1. You're probably thinking, Benjamin, if Troggzor the Earthinator is #2, what on earth could possibly be #1? Well, let me explain to you what the word disappointment actually means. The most disappointing card to be released so far in Hearthstone is undoubtedly Dragon's Consort, a 5 mana 5/5 that allows you, when you play it, to reduce the next cost of the next dragon by 2 mana, which is basically an innovate for free on your dragons, and you get good body. Dragon's Consort. Let me tell you the story about Dragon's Consort and why this card has taken a piece of my heart, has never returned it. Well, during Blackrock Mountain, the adventure pack that Blizzard announced, they were saying they're gonna introduce dragons and the whole dragon synergy properly into the theme. I love dragons, like, you know, like Brian Kibler. And I thought, you know what, let me go check out the set. I hardly even play Hearthstone, but I thought, you know what, I wanted to play because I love dragons. And then when I saw Dragon Consort, 5 mana, 5/5, which are good stats. It can beat low fab. and you get an innovate on your next dragon, for Dragon Paladin is going to be a crazy deck. Dragon Paladin was going to be the deck to beat. We're gonna have Hungry Dragon, we're gonna have Trollmagus, we're gonna have Blackwing Character, we're gonna have Volcanic Drake, we're gonna have all these awesome dragons in the Paladin deck with such amazing synergy, and the cornerstone, the key piece in this whole deck will be Dragon's Consort. It was meant to bring us the Dragon Paladin deck. This is why I bought Blackwood Mountain, because I was finally excited to play Dragon's Consort. And then when the card finally came out, when people started putting them in their decks, we all realized that this card is it just doesn't work. I know it's hard to believe, but that card just doesn't work with Paladin for some reason. Having a 5/5 that gives you an innovate just is not good enough. I am shocked myself. The fact that Dragon Warrior exists and Dragon Paladin doesn't is a crime. Warriors don't even have any special dragons that they have, but Paladins have Dragon Consort. I remember when priests were complaining and whining that they got the Twilight Whelp, 2-mana 2/1 that can be a 2/3 if you have a dragon in hand. People were whining, oh, I'm a priest that we have such bad dragon cards. And then Dragon Priest exists, Dragon Warrior exists, hell, even Dragon Warlock exists with the whole Manilock. But Dragon Paladin has never taken off, and the main culprit is you, Dragon Consort. You have destroyed the whole archetype with just being so disappointing. And this is why I had to put Dragon Consort as number 1, as the most disappointing card in Hearthstone. And that is it. My personal list of the most disappointing cards to be released so far in Hearthstone, and this marks the end of the first video of the Hearthstone Top 10 YouTube channel. Again, thank you for watching it all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, this is my first video on Hearthstone. You know, just give me any feedback, any advice you have. Don't crucify me, don't be too harsh. Hell, this is the internet, you know, you guys are gonna be harsh. Just say it nicely or something. Again, if you like it, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like. And hey, you know what? I could be wrong. Maybe there is more disappointing cards out there. What are your most disappointing cards? Leave a comment below and let me know. Also, if you like this content, if you like to see more videos of the how, and want to see more top 10 videos, then please subscribe, give it a like, share it with your Hearthstone buddies, and that way I can release more and more content if I know people actually want more. Again, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I know, you know, it's like it might not have been the most polished video, but I've really enjoyed my time doing all this whole Hearthstone top 10, especially getting my revenge back on Dragon Consort. Thank you for your time, and I shall see you hopefully on the next top 10 list. Good night, people. Until then.